Couple minutes, we'll start this thing up. Let's make sure this is working first. It's Tuesday. I'm staring at the screen. What the hell? I don't hear anything.
Thing up.
Well, I guess it is working.
Make sure this is working first.
That's exciting.
It's Tuesday.
So yeah, it's Tuesday. And projects have been going pretty well. Yes. The project, the 15-minute unsticking project is the nerd magazine slash website slash community initiative, which is a kind of a complicated project. I'm not exactly sure how I'll implement it, so spending 15 minutes a day on it just helps move it forward. And the interesting thing about it is because I'm doing these at 7 a.m. every morning, it's making me conform to a kind of schedule. It's just something I probably needed. Even though I'm still having trouble going to sleep early enough to wake up and feel refreshed at 7. That's the whole point of starting these rituals at 7 in the morning. So ideally, I wake up, shower, don't look at email, don't look at Facebook, don't look at anything distracting. I take those first few fresh minutes of the day and I apply them to something that is important to me, like a project or something like that. And it's because as soon as I look at email or look at Facebook, I get angry at the world, or there's things that I'm being asked to do, or I'm distracted by something, and just fritters that energy away. And there's not very many things that can't wait for 15 minutes, even if people are asking for something from you at 7 in the morning, can they wait 15 minutes? Well, probably. If not, well, I guess you can make an exception. But really, it's being in demand or on demand or on call all the time is not a way to be, or at least it doesn't work for me if I'm trying to be creative. So, let's see, what's today's thingy? Let me switch over to my desktop over here. It's 7 a.m. now. Okay. So before I start using this timer, what I'll do is review what's going on here. There's a way I can zoom in a Macintosh display. So anyway, here I'm using Quiver app here. And let me look at and see what I did yesterday. I collected articles, text, images that could be used to make a simple 100-word single-page piece. Oh yeah, that's what I did. So I'm starting with pizza as the topic because that's something I've been working on, making pizza in my home oven. And I put all the files in one place. Oh, so I actually got something that's actually kind of useful. Let me remind myself what this project is. The mission statement is, I had a realization that my motivation comes primarily from shared interests with other people. Let me strengthen this. My motivation comes primarily from sharing interests, from shared interests. What does it mean? My motivation doesn't really come primarily. My motivation is, it's triggered by it. It's initiated, inspired. My motivation is kickstarted, let's say, by having shared interests with other people. And then I also have a desire to be around other weird creative people like myself who have some ambition, who want to make stuff. Let's change that ambition to are making or pursuing things they find interesting. The theory is that conducting to bring more of this energy into my life, I have a theory. Conducting, sponsoring socially geeky themed events in my living room cafe will bring more creative interdependence into my life. Let's say will attract. Let's call that creative interdependence energy. The result will be increased. The hypothetical result will be increased levels of happiness, which I'll define at some other point. This is not so much a mission statement for the Nerd magazine. This is really motivation. It's motivation. And this is this the mission? It's really more stratagem. This first project will set the first project will be the short brief is stylishly celebrating what nerdy awesomeness is going on in New Hampshire. There will be a web presence in the print component. Once I get the bones of this up, I will find local group of interested contributors and collaborators. As a bonus. Project elements. I don't really need to do this. This is the first sub-project. Design the article research format as plain semantic HTML. That's kind of what I'm stuck on right now. This goal of creating the article format is actually a results-oriented thought. What I'm finding that's interesting about the 15-minute project push, which I'm about to start, 7:07, is that it actually gets me thinking about what the next step is rather than what the last result is, which results in, I think, a better mood. This 15 minutes a day thing has been helpful in just seeing that every day, like for 15 minutes, I can actually get something that pushes me a little bit forward, and then I reflect upon it. It's like the time between each little 15-minute push, which is like every day at the same time. Every little push, gives me, the time between them gives me an opportunity to just, I guess, think about it in the background. And new ideas come along. I look at what got done yesterday fresh, and I pick up the next thing. So I'm doing a better job, I think, balancing the small steps, the finding my footing steps, which is a big part of starting a project like this for me, versus the big picture steps. So this mission statement thing, which I've been refining like every couple of days, just rereading it and rewriting it and trying to make it more concise. This is my big picture. This is reminding me where I'm going. But then the continuity, 15 minutes, is helping me see how each little step goes together and gives me a sense of progress. I think before, when I would start projects like this, I would just want the project done, which is generally my nature. Just thinking about how the project will be, wanting the project to be done, or what it will even look like or be like, doesn't help me with those small steps that are unknown to me, as I'm doing them. So with that said, okay, let's see how this 50-minute goes. 7:09, starting the 15-minute timer. Where I left off yesterday was writing this article prompting list of questions, which I think is, where did I put it? Let me open up my desktop. I don't need that. That's my programming project for work. Let's close that. Let's pull up a Finder window and let's go to wherever I said that was, which was, I think, this folder. Yes. And then so I had a drafts article, Pizza MD. Let's open that. Let's open up my Sublime Text project. And dang it, no, that is what I wanted. Here's Pizza MD, and let me rename this. This is not so much about pizza now. It's about article template. What's my desire? Spit out little questions that I start with. So looking at this again, what am I doing now? What am I doing next? I already forgot. Let me look back at my notes. Continuity notes. Tuesday, August 16. I'm still trying to get to the point when I can actually make some kind of website. And what I want to do is create an article to use as filler in a website template that's based on Bootcamp. Oh, not Bootcamp, Bootstrap 3. The artifact produced will be something I can show to people. And okay. So create an article. Goal. Or let's see. Is it so much of a goal? I saw something on Twitter that said a goal is a dream with a deadline. There's no deadline on this. What would I call this? Next step? That doesn't sound very exciting. It's more of a the next piece of material that I need to gain more clarity or to share the idea with other people. I'll just call it a production goal. All right. We're blanking now. So I guess I need to look at what's in this folder. I have a bunch of images. It's kind of difficult to tell. I mean, I guess I need just to lay these things out and think about what this article looks like. So what's the best way to do that? I mean, we have this. This is the web page template. Let's Let's look at that. Let me start up my local development web server, MAMP. And start the server. That's happening. Oh, it started already. I guess I should get the live reload stuff working. Let me set this up. This one screen. Let me load a browser. This should be running on Nerd Local now. There's the template. Let me make this full screen and combine this full screen with this page. And let me move, how's this going to work? That'll work. Okay, so now, as I'm changing this, pizza experiments, and I save this. I don't have live reload setting, but at least I can see the preview side by side. And already there's some annoying things that are happening. Let me add, it looks like I have some images here. Maybe they can just, for the heck of it now, just load up a bunch of, what is these files and see what it looks like. How does this will work? Oh, that's cool. So I've got that. Let me, I think the syntax is source. It says source equals. Oops. It says source equals. Source equals images. How did that happen? Let's see. I should be able to multi-paste this in, right? No, I need to, there. How many of these do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Let's see. Option select, copy, option insert. Did this work? That did work. Shocking. Amazing. I don't think that will actually display though. Broken link, because where are these images located? Oh, there's the drafts articles. I need to actually copy this to docroot images. This might actually work now. And the layout's nasty, but let's paste in my article template questions now. It would be nice if this was like markup or using markdown. Let me just stick these up here. I'm gonna have to spend some time just learning how to set up a bootstrap page again. Starting question or motivation. H4. So we're just working through this article format. I just renamed desire as motivation. Desire. No, actually, that was the second thing. Let's call this desire. Or this is motivation. Desire, motivation. This is a variation of my project scoping questions, which are action, motivation, expectation. Why now? And that would give me a pretty good idea about what the project was, or what the real project was. Because people come up to you and say, "I want a website that has 3 pages with this and that," and so like that's the desire, the action that you want to. Then you ask them what the motivation is of that. So and say, "Oh, it's because blah 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 blah." That gets them thinking. Then the expectation gets them thinking about metrics, which is this. And then when you ask the question, why are we doing this right now instead of something else? Then that's when you find out, oh, well, there's a trade show coming up. Did I not mention that? Oh, it's a trade show, so this is for a trade show. Well, yeah. So if you want this for a trade show, how are you going to be using this on the floor? Do you need to link to this sort of stuff? And then you find out what the real requirements are. So in this case, but the starting point. Actually, I guess I could call it a starting analysis. No, let's call it starting point. That actually might not be a bad way of just structuring my using my old project guideline. That's not a bad idea. I mean, there's additional ones too that I haven't mentioned, like when did I have this right? I think I sort of wrote an article about this once. So expectation, motivation, desire, wired now. Then there's risks, resources, and accountability or decision makers. Does that apply to here? Let's see. Well, resources, challenges, I guess. A starting point. Next. After each starting point, there's a review. Let's call this an action step. Or step. Or iteration. And an iteration has some common elements. That is what question what questions come to mind? What question will we answer? By there's no wrong place. What's starting question? There's no wrong place to start. What is the starting question? What clarifies the starting question? What clarifies the question? What action can be taken to what action will provide. I don't want to say provides the answer, it really provides the direction. What action will cast light on a solution? This is really kind of a limited. What action will eliminate can eliminate directions? Let's leave that out. I don't really need to formalize my entire problem solving. So anyway, we got a little bit farther in defining what goes in here, and with this at least one kind of article content. This is heavier weight than I was thinking. This is really more of not pizza experiment, pizza research. And it's not the light and fluffy content I was thinking of making. But perhaps from this, the line of you have the hardcore information, and from this you can actually generate the summary of it. The summary might be the light fluffy thing. I mean, if this is for nerds, nerds want the detail. I mean, otherwise, just go to the store and buy it. So anyway, let me summarize what I got done today. First, I'm going to copy this into my I'll make this a checkbox format. So this is a subtask. Design a preliminary article, and these are related goals. Create an article. So I'm kind of just breaking this down. Review bootstrap. 3 page layout. So I'm starting to define like tasks that would be helpful. This will help me plan things to do in the next day. What is this spacing weird? Looking here on this right side, and it's like this B isn't aligning with that P, and it's really irritating. That's a CSS error. Page layout. That's maybe not necessary. Let's just leave it with this production code. I don't want to overplan this, because overplanning will make me not want to work on this. But we got a little bit farther, so I put this, updated this is the big picture. Let me rename that. I'll put this date here. August 16. Make sure I'll undate it. My continuity notes already have dates capturing. So this really is Nerd Magazine big picture. This is, oops. This is kind of the Nerd Mag continuity. So So let me do that. So now I'm specifically doing big picture and continuity, which seems to be a good balance. And there's like supporting content in the notebook here. And did I actually write the continuity log? So no, it's like, what did I do? What did I just do? Uh, looking at the stream preview. I can back up and see what I did. I should remember to recharge these batteries too. What did I do? What did I do? I copied images or copied pizza images into local dev website doc root. Added to prototype HTML previewed through browser. Started defining nerd research template based on my project scoping, or this is my request for proposal, my project, my RFP vetting interview questions. As the hardcore content. From this, the fluffy summary happy picture article content can be made. I think the next step write up one iteration in the article. An iteration is a design / research step. Write a dummy conclusion. I'm really making, I guess I'm formalizing my inquiry process as an article template format. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. You know, it may not work out at all, but you just had to work on something until something sticks. So that's the phase I'm in right now, just trying to get something to stick. Once it sticks, clarity will come. Alright, so there's my log entry for today. It's 7:30, so about 30 minutes. This is about the right amount of time that I wanted to spend on this. So, let's see, it's 7:30 a.m. Did a little more work on this nerd project. Surprisingly, I feel good about just doing a 50-minute chunk of work on this. It seems I'm making productive steps. It might be because I'm yammering at this camera, feeling that I'm accountable to someone, if it's like the invisible internet. But yeah, this seems to be a fruitful experiment right now. So I'm going to get back to doing some programming work. Yesterday was a good day for programming. Got like about 8 or 9 hours of work done, billable work. So that means I can eat this month or next month. But yeah, it's starting to. I think the positive progress on this project, and also applying this 15-minute getting unstuck technique, which is like just making something happen. It seems to be playing. It seems to be affecting my other work in a positive way. But I have not applied it to my domestic chores yet, like painting the living room, cleaning up the kitchen. I'm feeling a little bit stuck on those actually. So I might actually have to switch gears and use my 15 minutes for one of those other projects. Maybe it's not necessary to keep just doing the same one until it's over. So maybe it's okay to take a break. Like right now, I'm feeling a lot of psychic burden from just how messy my room is. I mean, that's the whole area that needs to be cleaned up. This area needs to be cleaned up. And I can actually move this camera upstairs if I put up the repeater on it. So I could actually do the watch me paint my living room stream, which would be, I don't know. It's interesting to just have a record of all these chores that I'm doing. And sometimes people find it relaxing to put on the background because at least someone else is working, not just themselves. Like I feel like that all the time when I'm just had to do some work and no one else is working. I feel blah. Anyway, so I think that's the stream for today. Check in tomorrow, Wednesday, and hit another chunk of this project. I'm going to try to do another few hours of programming, porting over old functions to the new system. The new system is kind of awesome. I'm pretty happy about that. So I just want to keep the momentum going. So that's where today, Tuesday, August 16, 2016. Have a good day, everybody.